Tom Selleck. Most of us remember him from Friends, which isn't right considering his career history. Sure, TV loved him as a doctor, but he's also seen as one of Hollywood's manliest men. But what makes him so perfect? Well, besides all that 6'4" strongman energy, it's gotta be the mustache. Sure, we could talk about his acting skills, the dad energy, or even the insane height, but to be honest, a lot of actors have that stuff.
Besides that, I'm mad. Real mad.
Tom is 1,000 times better when he has his stash going, and we can barely differentiate between him and the other tall dudes when he isn't rocking it. And I get it, mustaches might not be all the hype these days, but he still rocks, and he does it better than most. Looking at that thing, I can already say there's probably a ton of upkeep involved, and it would certainly be easier to shave it off. Like, that man is almost 80 now, but his hair? Insane. Sure, his hairline has taken a hit, but he keeps it cropped now, and it's almost distinguished. I'll bet it's hard making it look as perfect as it has all these years. But I'm personally thankful he keeps up the hard work. He's just better with it, cause I'm sure we all remember that bit in Friends where he gets rid of it for a while. Now that looked like an actual midlife crisis, as opposed to the one joked about in the show. Dating a woman whose father you pop beers with? Don't know what the writers were thinking with that one, but hey, it's still how a lot of us were introduced to the man, and I'm super grateful for that.
Hey there.
What?
Nothing. I just heard something nice about you.
But the thing is, Tom Selleck has had some other hilarious and totally iconic roles, and if you ask me, it's thanks to that characteristic mustache. Can you even imagine Tom Magnum without his iconic stash? All the way back in the 80s, Selleck bagged this role in Magnum P.I. He was only 35, but this was the biggest role of his career, a Kickstarter of sorts. It completely changed his life and made him one of the biggest names in Hollywood. He won an Emmy and a Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Drama Series for that part.
The nominees for the best performance by an actor in a television series drama are
Mr. Tom Selleck, Magnum P.I.
Well earned and well played, and that's not even mentioning his 10 other nominations. The real question is, would he have gotten all that recognition if it weren't for his iconic mustache? And I mean that as a serious debate, because without it, he definitely would have stood out much less. His deep focused eyes, and that manly mustache he can stroke every time he's trying to figure out who committed a heinous crime, or whose body it is. Yeah, that just made him perfect for the breakout role of Thomas Magnum. He made the role what it is today, iconic and still worth a rewatch, or a first-time binge if you're a little younger. The show did come out in the 80s after all.
Magnum, you're clad only in your undershorts. Of course. Even for you, I find that just a trifle casual.
Of course I am.
For the remake, Selleck even wound up being a producer on the remake series during its final season. Imagine that, being the star of a show, and then getting to see its remake in your own lifetime, getting to see it and then even help produce. Honestly, his career is inspirational. The non-acting work he's done, just superb. And Magnum P.I. was a game changer. Totally made the cut for the coolest American shows of all time. But speaking of boys in uniform, there's another similar role he's landed because of that iconic mustache. Yup, Tom Selleck is back on NBC with his Blue Blood character.
Bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. Congratulations, James.
He plays Frank Reagan on the show, a police commissioner and dad of 4. Doesn't stray far from his roots, does he? Or from his general energy as a father. He's a fan favorite in the part of the Reagan patriarch. The mustache definitely factors in, and so would his expertise as a parent of 2 grown-up kids himself. The show's been a consistent hit since the early 2010s and is on to its 13th season now. Amazingly, the actor has announced he has no intentions of leaving it either, since since he's 77 and has a pretty prolific career already. People were wondering whether he might be considering retirement. When asked about it though, he had a super funny and practical reply. "I've got a mortgage. I'm game," he said to TV Insider. A mature man with a mustache and a mortgage. Selleck is absolutely swoon-worthy. He also talked about how he felt about the show nearing a 300-episode milestone, and his answer melted our hearts. He mentioned how he did 8 seasons of Magnum P.I. and never thought that he would get that lucky again, only to wind up preparing for another season after wrapping up 13 on Blue Blood. "We're not out of ideas yet," he teased. When it comes to Frank Reagan, the character is an essential part of the show. It just wouldn't feel the same without him, you know. He carries the weight of the show on his strong, manly back. Thankfully, much like most celeb news flying around these days, rumors of Selleck's retirement have been greatly exaggerated, and it seems fans won't be missing seeing him on their TV screens every Friday night either. Makes sense, considering he gets paid $200,000 per episode on Blue Blood. Sheesh. That must be why his net worth is so high, thanks to his fatherly looks and attitude, as well as that trustworthy all-American man energy.
For your information, I am crazy about this man.
Really?
Yes.
Sometimes we all collectively forget that he's not the next-door neighbor who opens the door for our moms, or helps carry the groceries, or babysits our sibling. Yeah, all that stuff aside, Tom Selleck is loaded, and I mean loaded. From Magnum P.I. to his stint on Friends, to the various other shows and movies he's done, the 77-year-old actor is up there with the richest of the rich, celebrity-wise. His net worth is a whopping $45 million. That might not seem like a lot when you compare it to today's get-rich-quick billionaire celebs. Looking at you, Kylie Jenner. But for a guy who works hard, instead of hardly working, $45 million is a lot of money, and he earned every penny, with elbow grease and mustache oil, of course. His career is actually impressive though, all jokes aside. He's been working hard since college. He had a basketball scholarship that helped him get through it, but he started working that early too, from modeling part-time to scenes on dating shows he describes as awkward and embarrassing.
Safeguard's deodorant lather is so effective, it doesn't need heavy perfume.
And later, to hit investigation dramas and comedies and everything in between. Tom Selleck has got to be one of the most genuinely talented actors in history, and he even joined the army for a while, which just makes him an icon, a legend, and also someone to aspire to be like. Unlike all of today's casts, which are nepotism baby after nepotism baby, it's almost embarrassing for the current generation. Who are the kids supposed to look up to? They don't make men like they used to anymore. What Selleck has is a classic, unique style and energy that not many actors pull off these days. He's old school and both boyish and dad energy at the same time. And I love it, because in the end, we're all just Monicas, and he'll always be our first love, or our icon if we're Chandlers. It's one or the other. And that, folks, was Tom Selleck's story as the multi-millionaire mustache man who inspires us all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.